Good morning. It's Wednesday, September 10th. I'm Jasmine Anderson. Only a Newsday. Police officers punished after being accused of beating a man in handcuffs. Body cam video played a major role in the case. The video shows the treatment of a car theft suspect as he was arrested. A Newsday investigation uncovered the punishment officers received after an internal affairs probe. Sherry Einhorn brings us the special report in just a few moments. 22 years in prison. That's the punishment a Long Beach man could receive for driving drunk and causing a crash that killed his friend. Christian Galliano is scheduled to be sentenced today after pleading guilty to vehicular manslaughter and DUI. Prosecutors say he crashed into a tree in February and left his friend to die in the car. Commuters might see more police as they head in and out of the city. That's because the NYPD is on heightened alert. Commissioner Jessica Tisch announced tighter security, citing unspecified threats to bridges and tunnels. She said threats usually peak around the anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. Target is moving into the former Kmart location in Bridgehampton. That location was the last remaining Kmart in the United States mainland until it closed last fall. The new Target is expected to open next year. The Manor East Catering Hall is a step closer to reopening. The owner, Sashi Goyel, pictured in the center, said he was excited a special use work permit was approved during an Oyster Bay Town Board meeting last night. The proposal to renovate the property still needs approval by the town's building department. Now let's check out your hyperlocal Wednesday weather. Today's highs only in the 60s across most of the island. It's pretty much a fall-like day, but it won't last for long. So make sure you grab maybe your light sweater. That will help today. Well, tomorrow things are different. Warming back up, highs in the upper 70s, partly cloudy. And here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Nice weather the rest of the week, but look at this. We may get a chance for showers Monday. That's a look at your 7-day forecast.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
Only a Newsday. Suffolk police officers punished after being accused of beating a handcuffed man. Body camera video was the evidence used to make the case. Sherry Einhorn has an exclusive Newsday investigation.
That's a now former Suffolk County police officer yelling at a handcuffed suspect who allegedly stole a car, led police on a chase, and resisted arrest. You may have seen the video before. The suspect, Christopher Cruz, claimed he was beaten by several Suffolk police officers while he was in handcuffs.
This is not an isolated incident in Suffolk or Nassau, and this is a terrible atrocity.
Cruz filed a federal civil rights case claiming he was targeted because he's Hispanic and that the assault is part of a pattern of discrimination by Suffolk police against Latino communities.
The public knew from the start what had happened through the body cam footage. What the public did not know is how the Suffolk County Police Department handled internally the discipline of those officers.
Now, for the first time, you'll hear how those allegations were investigated by the Internal Affairs Department and what happened to the officers involved.
So what we know now is that the Suffolk County Police Department basically launched an investigation through the Internal Affairs Department immediately into this incident. And through the body cam footage, they were able to substantiate multiple charges of misconduct against several officers, 2 of whom are no longer working there.
The 67-page Internal Affairs report was provided to Newsday in response to a Freedom of Information request to the Suffolk District Attorney's Office. According to the report, 7 officers committed 19 violations during the February 2021 incident. Some of those violations include use of excessive force, lying or making a false statement, use of unprofessional language or attitude. Suffolk police said they won't comment because of the pending litigation. The Suffolk PBA declined to comment. That was William Bubeck. He's one of the officers found to have used excessive force seen on the video, kicking Cruz 4 times. He was eventually fired and can no longer work as a police officer in New York State.
To have this young police officer lose his job and his career over those facts that culminated that night, to me, is outrageously unjust.
Bubeck's attorney says it's important to look at everything that happened leading up to the incident. Cruz was suspected of stealing a car, then putting officers' lives at risk by driving erratically and resisting arrest.
His actions that night were uncontrollable. This man was really a danger, even after he was apprehended. I'm all for holding police to a high standard. I am all for civil rights of our citizens. But this case here, I'm sorry, Christopher Cruz, in my opinion, was treated the way he deserved to be treated, and there was nothing excessive or unreasonable about it.
Frank Filiberto was also terminated by the department after he retired. Internal Affairs investigators found Filiberto lied and filed a false report, claiming Cruz rammed into his police vehicle while trying to get away at a Coram gas station, injuring him. Surveillance video from the gas station contradicted his story. He later admitted that the surveillance video showed his version of events wasn't true. He spoke to Newsday but declined a video interview. His attorney told us
he didn't do anything wrong and he didn't deserve that. We've already cooperated with the DA's office, who did the investigation on this, again, nearly 5 years ago. And they certainly, I don't believe, saw any wrongdoing on behalf of Frank Filiberto. Didn't charge him with anything, making false statements or misrepresenting anything. This was presented to the grand jury. Frank cooperated. They saw the video, they heard from Frank. Nothing came of it.
Another officer, Matthew Cameron, is seen on the video kicking Cruz in the leg, then pushing him. He was found to have used excessive force. He's also the only officer who was charged criminally after a grand jury investigation. But that charge, filing a false statement, was later dismissed by a judge. Cameron returned to work after agreeing to a 3-month unpaid suspension and using time he had accrued for another 9 months. Experts say the relationship between the Latino community and Suffolk police has been rocky in the past and point to mandated reforms after George Floyd died in Minneapolis police custody as a catalyst for slowly improving things.
Accountability for misconduct by police officers is a major factor in community trust. People will not trust the police if they do not believe that the police are going to be held accountable.
This is an anomaly, in my view.
Cruz's attorney, Fred Brewington, admits this time a few officers were held accountable, but he's not convinced the department is doing enough.
Do I think it's gotten better? To a degree, but not to a degree where we should be in 2025.
Investigators dismissed 14 allegations of misconduct and biased policing.
If you do something and you say something, you have to readily admit it and deal with the consequences.
David Sarney is a former NYPD detective who trained officers and now teaches at John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
Once the handcuffs are on and pretty much it has been settled, it needs to be settled. You can't have any what's called extracurricular activity involved in that. You know, the arrest is made, you caught the person red-handed based on probable cause. Don't let the arrest be sullied or tainted by things that you're going to create, like excessive use of force.
For Newsday TV, I'm Shari Einhorn.
Sherry, thank you. Read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. 24 years later, we're still hearing the amazing stories of people who survived. Virginia Huey has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
From a really beautiful day to hell on earth.
Out of the massive, suffocating dust cloud that cloaked the ruins of the Twin Towers walked a miracle. Florence Jones of Riverhead was one of the last 7 people to escape the South Tower.
And I knew my life would never be the same. I had no idea at that point, how much it would change.
On the morning of September 11th, 2001, Jones was at work at Baseline Financial Services on the 77th floor.
And all of a sudden, I heard this loud bang. And this funny smell came through the system. You knew it was something, but it was like, what in the world was that?
It was American Airlines Flight 11, which had been hijacked by 5 terrorists slamming into the North Tower at 8:46 a.m. The crash shook the South Tower and permeated the skyscraper with the odor of jet fuel. Jones began rounding up her co-workers to evacuate the building.
And I was not going to die in that building. I said, I'll die on the street. I'll die from debris hitting me or whatever, but I'm not dying in here.
Moments later, at 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175, piloted by terrorists, hit the 78th floor of the South Tower, just one level above Jones.
And all of a sudden, they plowed into the building, and the building went like this, and then it went like this. And everybody scattered. There was all kinds of debris falling. I had a jacket on. And I remember fiberglass going through the sleeves of the jacket. And I was like, this is not good. And my boss grabbed me and he was like, let's go, let's go. When we got in the stairwell, it was a lot of thick white smoke. And we had to all hold hands.
Jones made the harrowing descent to safety wearing these black suede dress shoes with 4-inch wedge heels. The shoes carried her down several flights of jet-fueled soaked steps, but they eventually became an impediment.
The boss said to me, he says, I was standing there just like shaking so badly. And he said, take your shoes off and give me your handbag. And he says, I'll carry it.
77 flights and 40 minutes later, Jones and her boss reached safety with less than 10 minutes to spare. The South Tower collapsed at 9:59 a.m.
And the policeman said, are you okay? And I went, I'm never going to be okay. But I got to get out of here.
For more than a decade, Jones kept her debris-covered shoes in a plastic box in her basement. Then in 2013, she decided to donate the shoes to the 9/11 Memorial Museum to help educate future generations about one of the most tragic chapters in our nation's history.
Those shoes represent strength and survival. For me to escape death like that, I just feel really blessed. I really do.
Many of her colleagues never made it out. That's why Jones, now 64, feels a sense of responsibility, having survived that dark day, to share her message of resilience and remembrance.
I feel there was a lot of really talented people that had their lives cut short that day. And sometimes I wonder what the world would be like if they were still here.
Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
A day we'll never forget. Thank you, Virginia. Read more on this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
What's Up on Long Island is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Island homes and businesses save with solar for over 20 years.
Here's what's up on Long Island. Check out the Water Lantern Festival at Eisenhower Park. Create a lantern and watch it float on the water as the sun sets. It's this Saturday in East Meadow. Massapequa Park goes to the dogs. Yeah, for Dog Fest. Watch a service dog demonstration with a Canines for Companions instructor. Plus, play interactive games, dress your dog up to win a costume contest and take them through an agility course. It's Saturday at Marjorie Post Park.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.
Papa Roach is about to rock the island. The Grammy-nominated band continues its Rise of the Roach tour. They make a stop at the Northwell Health at Jones Beach Theater Saturday night. For admission info and more events, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box on our homepage. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other services you see right here. I'm Jasmine Anderson. More local news coming up.